Sunday, July 8th, Bahamas Harvest Church honors Dr. Myles Munroe as one of our Lignum Award recipients.
Hi, my name is Myles Munroe Jr. I'm the son of Dr. Myles Munroe, the late Dr. Myles Munroe. And I first want to thank Pastor Mario and Erica Moxie for honoring my father, for selecting him for this prestigious award. It's always a pleasure to share in that honoring, and to be a part of, to be the heir to or the legacy carrier of what my father started. I kind of remember, when my dad was, when I was young at least, my dad would tell me stories about him growing up and how, his parents, my grandparents, and his 10 siblings, it was 11 of them total, and he was in the middle, so he had five siblings older than him and 5 siblings younger than him, and he would just tell us stories of how it was always a task to feed 11 kids, and the things that my grandmother and my grandfather would have to do to ensure that their kids ate, were fed each day, and they had clothes for school. And he would say stories about how he grew up sleeping on the floor with the roaches and the rats and stuff. I think some of that might have been embellished a bit, but nonetheless, I knew that he really came from humble beginnings. From growing up in Baintown, from an early age, I could always remember him saying, and then other people confirming, that he was always someone that was focused, someone that knew what his purpose was, what his vision. He knew what the vision was for his life, and he always pursued that. He was a part of a group called the Visionaires, who, from what I understand, were sort of a very big, large, popular group in the Bahamas at the time. Obviously being one of the leads for the group, I know my dad would say that he had a lot of attention from the females and whatnot, and that my mother would, my mother at the time, I guess they were friends or they knew of each other. He would speak about how he had to remain focused and stay dedicated to the vision that he was given, because of its importance. He struggled a bit. I knew that my aunt, his older sister, my Aunt Sheila, she had to take care of him. He was an asthmatic child, so there were times where he had difficulty sleeping at night, and she would have to walk around with him and make sure that he was okay. So there were things like that he had to overcome. And fast forward about 30 years, and my aunt was employed by my father. She was actually his personal assistant for a very long time. A particular story my dad would tell, and it was about when he was in high school, and he had this English teacher who called him nothing short of a monkey, right? And he said he would never amount to anything, and would never be somebody because of the color of his skin. And it was in London one day, this gentleman walked up to him and asked for his autograph, and was staring at him, and my dad was, I guess, wondering why this gentleman was looking at him the way he was. And the gentleman eventually asked my dad if he doesn't remember him, and my dad was like, "No, I don't." And he eventually said that he used to be his English teacher back in high school. And my dad instantly remembered what he had told him back then, and he forgave him on the spot. I remember him, he said that they had a conversation, and he really never held anything against the gentleman. He actually said he used what he said as fuel to become who he was today, because he never wanted anyone's opinion of him to dictate what he thought of himself. I've learned so much from him after moving home, which would have been around 2009 up until he passed in 2014. If I had to say what's one thing I think was a great accomplishment for him, it would be his family, especially myself and my sister. Just seeing what we went through with them passing and where we are right now, I think it's really the way that we've been able to deal with everything. It's because of the father that he was to us, the lessons that he taught us, the preparation that I feel he was giving us, over all these years. I appreciate it a lot more now, being able to think back on it and seeing how valuable those times where we spent together as family, how valuable those times was. So once again, I want to thank Bahamas Harvest Church and your pastor, Pastor Mario Moxie, and his wife, Pastor Erica. Really humbled by you wanting to honor my father, and really bringing his life to the front, especially with the platform that you guys have. I'm really appreciative of it. I don't think words can express the gratitude that my dad would have had he been still with us. But I'll extend his gratitude to you guys, so thank you.
Join us for this experience as we honor this man of God, Sunday, July 8th at our West Campus, JFK Drive, the Old Galleria Cinemas at 11 a.m., Dr. Myles Munroe.